I might have to take that out of service. I couldn't imagine.
Okay, I guess we're all set. 4 o'clock. I'd like to call the meeting to order for the Moorhead Airport Committee. The date, March 22nd, 4 o'clock. And looks like we do have a quorum. Is that correct? Any agenda amendments? Any questions or additions to the minutes of the last meeting? About a motion to approve the minutes from the last meeting.
Motion to approve the minutes of the last meeting.
Harold, a second? Okay.
Second that.
All those in favor?
Aye. Aye.
And those opposed? Any citizens to be heard? Jeff, you a citizen?
Would anybody want to hear what he had to say, though?
I guess then we can go to new business, and I guess Christie will take over from there. Is the microphone?
Testing. There we go. All right, the first item on the agenda tonight is to hold a consultation meeting for 2023 to 2025 Disadvantaged Business Enterprise Consultation. The FAA requires that disadvantaged business enterprise, or also known as DBE goals, are computed every 3 years. These are based on projects that we anticipate to do within that 3-year period. So the meeting tonight is for 2023 to 2025. We are basically holding the consultation tonight for any public input as it relates to DBEs that may be interested in the projects. The projects that we have potentially on the agenda for the next 3 years include pavement maintenance, crack seal and seal coat, and the potential purchase of snow removal equipment, including a new payloader and snowblower attachment. I just want to note that this does not include the projects that we're hoping to actually complete in 2023, which we've already applied for and included in the last DBE goal. The current step 1, we would consider participation of the projects, and once that is done tonight, we will go back and look at the DBEs in our area that could potentially bid or be part of the projects on our CIP and develop the goal and the plan. And the action that we're looking for from the airport committee tonight is to direct staff to document the DBE comments and, utilizing that FAA guidance, establish the DBE goal for federal fiscal years 23 to 25.
Anybody?
I'll also just note as one final comment that our goals change every 3 years because, again, it's based on the projects and available DBEs in our area. But usually we're right around that 3 to 4%, and we've been able to meet that on all of our projects.
I don't have any comments other than what has been brought up.
And if there's no additional comments, we would just look to see if there's an airport committee member that would be willing to make a motion.
I'll make the motion.
Second the motion.
Chrissy, do we have actual, so we have the goals for the different years. Did I just miss that, the actual, what we actually did?
We don't have the goal developed yet for the current one that we're working on because we wanted to do the consultation first, and then we'll go look at the different databases that have the DBEs and then establish the goal. So that one will be forthcoming with the full plan.
Right, I was talking about past.
Oh, sure.
Historical, was there?
Absolutely. So on page 4 of your packet, the 2014 to 16 goal was 2.89%, 17 to 19 was 4%, and 20 to 22 was 3.15%.
And we met those goals, but did we exceed them? I guess that's the question is, kind of like what did we hit? And just kind of curious.
I believe, Jeff can correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe the last project that we did, that would have been the 3.15, we were closer, if not at 4%. So we've always met or exceeded. So I have a first and a second, so it would just be a call for yays and nays. For all in favor.
Be a first.
Acting chair?
Yes.
Okay, you just need to say all in favor,
Okay.
say yes.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Yep.
And those opposed?
All right, so next on the agenda, I wanted to provide just some updates on our aeronautical zoning and where we're at today. Jerry is on the airport zoning board, so he can chime in if he has any comments as well. Where we are is we've developed the ordinance and maps. The aeronautical ordinance is based on the MnDOT draft ordinance that they have available for airports. We also sent out letters to all owners in zones A and B, which are the most restrictive aeronautical zones, and offered a variety of meeting dates. We did get a number of phone calls from those owners just inquiring generally about the process and what it was, and then we also had a meeting with one of the owners as well, where he was able to get a number of questions asked. We then held our meeting number 1 of our JASB board on March 8th. At that time, they did not adopt the ordinance, but they have to declare it as their proposed ordinance and maps. We will then plan on holding the public hearing on May 10th. Again, those owners of zones A and B will be receiving a notice to that public hearing, but hopefully they're all aware now of the process that's happening and would be able to contact us with any questions and or attend the public hearing. That is, I also wanted to mention that all of this information is on the website. It's on the main airport page, so if you're interested in looking at the proposed zoning ordinance or any of the maps, it is all available online. And I have no actions related to this item. I just wanted to provide it as an update. Any questions on aeronautical zoning? If not, I'll move on to the last memo in your packet, the 2023 project updates. Just a couple of quick things. New airport sign. I have reached out to a sign company that is preparing some information on the sign with our known budget, and I have not heard back from them yet, but we'll keep everyone posted on that. We do have in our building fund replacement budget for this year, lounge office window replacement in the amount of $17,000. So we'll work with the manager to make sure that we're coordinating that, but do anticipate that that will happen this year. We're continuing to work with Mead and Hunt as well as MnDOT and the FAA on relocating the AWAS. This is required because MnDOT does want to provide a new AWAS to the city, but the current location does not meet standards. So we're continuing to work with them on that. And we have all of the application materials in for the proposed commercial taxi lane extension and the electrical vault and equipment replacement. So all of that is pending, and we anticipate potential grants coming for those as well if the bids come in within our budget.
That electrical, do we know where it's going to move to, or is it going to move from its present location?
Same location.
Same location?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. It'll be a complete new building, new everything. Back to that sign, I wasn't here. We talked about that the last meeting. Is that correct? Is that going to be with the logo on it, the city logo and so forth, a substantial sign compared to what we have now, or is it going to be incorporated into the sign we have now, or?
Well, I suppose it depends on what your definition of substantial is. It'll likely be another monument sign, but we really want to spruce it up a little bit, put the city logo on it, and then Florence Klingensmith Field as well, adding to that name. So, like I said, I haven't gotten any design options back from the sign company, but we'll certainly keep the committee posted on any options and ultimate direction on the sign.
So there's not going to be flashing lights or, stuff on it, right? Static.
I have not confirmed whether that's within the budget or not, so.
Will it be a lighted sign? Do we know that, or?
We've had some difficulty with the lighting out there. It's disconnected a couple of different times, so I could certainly talk to Moorhead Public Service to see, what the status of that line out there is, to see if it could be lighted.
Yeah, I was just wondering if it would be an internal lighting or whether it would be, okay. What's with the windows, Mike? I guess I didn't get involved in that. What's with the windows in the building there?
They're so bad that every time the wind blows, it leaks through them.
They've been on the radar for a few years now, so we just were able to get funding in 2023.
That'll be all of the office windows as well as the, okay.
Question also. So the automatic weather observation station, I assume this then gets tied into the state system. So when they're announcing weather, instead of saying Fargo, they'll say, at Moorhead, this is the temperature. So what happens to the old equipment? Does it just get upgraded, or do you
No, the current AWAS is, for lack of a better way to articulate it, on the fritz. So I do believe that MnDOT will likely decommission it.
So MnDOT basically is in charge of it, and they'll take it away, and so you don't have to deal with it.
Correct.
Right.
Change frequencies too. Tri Lakes updated theirs, and then the frequency changed as well to tune into it coming to the airport.
So it's not going to be 120 anymore? Different frequency?
I don't know what it will be here, but in Detroit Lakes, it's 119.075, the AWAS down there. And I think it used to be 110 before.
Could change
Yeah, it'll
frequency.
probably change, I'm guessing, when they change the whole system, or put the new one in.
That'll cause some confusion.
Yeah.
Any additional business? Fuel report.
Last year was a good year. We sold the most jet fuel going back to at least 2007, most combined going back to at least 2007. Avgas was third best going back then. I don't see any signs of it slowing down. We're off to a good start so far this year.
Price will be coming down though, right?
I wish. It has stayed pretty stable. We're still a couple of dollars a gallon less than Fargo, so.
Doesn't seem to be hard to do,
No.
competing with Fargo.
But it's also part of what's attracting the jets to start being based over here. It's a lot less expensive to operate. And it's cheaper to build in Moorhead versus Fargo, so hopefully after, get tight and operating out of the airfield for a year and people see that it's viable, then maybe we'll get more businesses interested in coming over here.
Yeah, I think you might mention that the one party from Fargo that comes over to fill up and what he saves.
Costs less to fly his jet over to Moorhead and fill it up than it would cost to just buy it over there. So the operating cost of that jet was like $2,000 to fly it from Fargo over here and back, something crazy like that. He said they saved more than $2,000 by filling up in Moorhead.
We need more people to be aware of that.
Or give, or tack on something for, people that aren't based here. People that are
Yep.
based in Moorhead should have a huge benefit.
Maybe start an ad campaign.
Yeah.
Big bucks for both, for us and them. Anything else? Motion to adjourn.
Should that?
Those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Thanks, everybody.